What's up, everyone? Eli here, back for a video. It's been a little while. I've been kind of distracted with some of the other stuff I've been doing, so I have a lot of stuff to show. I'm going to kind of do like a collection update video mashed in with, like, I want to get back to showing stuff from my collection. So we're going to have like kind of best of both worlds thing going on today. Right now we are listening to Inferno from the Czech Republic. Black metal band, very, very good. I'm not going to try to say the title, I'm tired of butchering things, but that's what that is. This came out on Old Legend Productions. It's got a very nice, I got lyrics there. Very nice multi-panel digipack, J-card. Boom. I actually have more of these for sale in my distro. If you're interested, I'm having a sale until next Tuesday. You can get this cassette right here and many others for $4. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested. Other than that, I'll start the video. I got a lot of stuff to show. It's going to be kind of cool. Haven't had a lot of extra money right now, so I bought some stuff at a thrift store. Nothing huge, but that was cool. And I actually went to one of my local shops yesterday and did a trade. I just kind of traded in some stuff that I didn't want and got a whole bunch of stuff, so that's been kind of cool. First off, thrift store. I got a bunch of VHS cassettes. I've been kind of recollecting these. It's been kind of fun, like kind of brings back, you know, childhood, and I still watch them too. So I mean, I collect them and watch them, and it's just been a lot of fun. There's a thrift store by my house that'll sell them for like $1. So why not? I mostly, just like with my DVDs, I mostly just collect horror, but every now and then I'll buy some oddball stuff too, like this movie, which I've never seen. The Scarlet and the Black. Looked like it's a good movie. Never seen it, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Stoked for that. Stoked for this too, even though, I mean, I've owned this movie for years, but not on VHS. Got Army of Darkness. Can't go wrong with that, you know. I'm a big fan. This movie right here was a big one from my childhood, so it's cool to own this again. Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. Easily my favorite of the Star Trek movies. Some of these I have doubles of too. I just kind of, I didn't know which ones I had and which ones I didn't. Here's another one I've owned for a long time, but Legend. Way to go, Marty. Fucking writing your name on shit. He wrote it on the back too. Marty's dead serious about his shit getting stolen. One of my favorites, another big part of my childhood. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but Silence of the Lambs. I think I have. Yeah, I actually already had this on VHS. So yeah, if anyone wants it, just send me shipping costs, you know, and I'll send it to any other VHS collectors out there. I also bought. This was a couple weeks apart where I bought all these too. So next we have the original Predator movie. I bought 2 of those somehow. They're different versions. I think this one's older, and it's also beat up. But yeah, now I have 2. Another big part of my childhood. Huge. And I got, oh yeah, another big part of my childhood. Actually, all these are big parts of my childhood, so I can stop saying it every time. Alien. Fuck, yeah. This movie needs no introduction. None of these do. I'm not gonna talk about them. We all know. The Abyss, one of my favorites as a kid, and I honestly haven't seen this movie in probably over 25 years, so really need to revisit that one, to say the least. Same with this one. I haven't seen this in a long time. In fact, I barely remember it. 2001: Space Odyssey. Got Blair Witch 2. Not a great movie, but I bought it anyway. I'm a big fan of the original, so I have it on DVD. It's watchable. Like I said, it's not great. Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, last but not least, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. Can't go wrong with those original Star Trek movies, unless you don't like them. But I do. Oh yeah, and I got these too. I have the regular version of this movie, but this was a different version, so I figured why not. Got the Hellboy director's cut. It's got like three discs. I don't know what's on all of them, but it also comes with, and they're very nice too. Got like Abe Sapien disc, got the Liz, and Hellboy himself. And then it comes with like this cool book that just has like cool, you know, artwork and stuff. Like, blah blah blah. That was a terrible job of showing it. I don't want to really flip through it. But anyways, and then we also got this. I remember this movie from when I was a kid. Don't remember much about it, so I need to rewatch it. Still sealed. Old Jim Henson movie, The Witches. So that'll be a cool one to watch. Oh yeah, and I also got this. Kansas. It's their, what's it called? Song for America album from like, what, 70? I don't know. 75, I was going to say 75. Pretty cool. Still in pretty decent shape. I haven't spun it yet, but I have it on CD, but I've actually never listened to this album. I haven't gotten around to it yet, so. I've only been into Kansas for like maybe a year. Alright, now we'll get to some of the records that I got from the record shop yesterday for my trade. This was a good find. Got Deathspell Omega Kinos. That's at least how I pronounce it. Back. It's just on black vinyl. I won't pull that out, but I will show you the book that it came with, and I'm not gonna go through it in detail. Man, it comes with this is a heavy motherfucking book right here. It's just got a bunch of weird artwork, to be honest. Some lyrics and just, you know, some weird artwork, like shit like that. Yeah, real nice. Came out on their label. What's it called? I can never pronounce it anyways. So. Oh no, this one came out on the Ajna Offensive. So yeah. Anyways. Didn't really notice the spine damage right here, but I don't really give a fuck. Considering the damage on that spine, it was pretty overpriced. But, like I said, I didn't pay anything for it. So, and I also got this. This was cool to have. I've known about this band for a long, long time, but I've never owned. This is their sole album, at least until they might have put one out recently. But this is their original album from the 80s. I don't know exactly what year it came out, but anyways, Seattle's Heir Apparent. What was the album called? Graceful Inheritance. I think they put this out themselves. Limited 500 copies. I got 283 because you guys give a shit about that. Yeah, great, just classic U.S. power metal. This is very well known to, you know, like the power metal, you know, fan base. Outside of that, not so well known. And it comes on this cool fucking banana yellow vinyl. There you go. But yeah, it's a good album, man. If you like, you know, if you like early U.S. power metal, I mean, it's very much up your alley. And now we'll get to the CDs. These are some CDs I got from the trade yesterday. Some I bought months ago and have yet to show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's just a mixed bag here. I don't remember. I'm just going to show them in no order. First one, we got Mansion, The First Death of the Lutheran. Mansion are a really cool kind of occult rock / doom band from Finland. Very good stuff. Very creepy stuff. They sound to me very similar to, what was that one band? The Sabbath Assembly? Is that what they're called? Sabbath Assembly? I think so. U.S. band. I think they're still active. They really remind me of that, but darker and creepier. I can't say for a fact that they took influence from that band, but I would be surprised if somehow they didn't. But I don't want to, you know, jump to conclusions as far as bands' influences if I don't know what I'm talking about. But it definitely reminds me of that. I mean, from the start. Here's one I've been wanting for quite a while and just it never managed to pick it up. Because it came out years ago. On a Necroharmonic, we got Gorephobia, the Vile Beast of Abomination. Gorephobia are a great East Coast death metal band. You know, been around since the early 90s. I believe this is a this is a compilation. It's got like I don't know, stuff on it. It's great. It's got Alex Books from X Incantation. He's now in Immolation. He used to be in this band, and he might still be. I can't remember. This band is active, at least last time I checked. They've actually put some albums out recently. I think they put a couple albums out in like the last 5 or 8 years or something like that. They've been really fucking good too, not to mention Craig Smolowski was in this band as well, also Ex-Immolation. And yeah, Chris Gamble, who you might also know from Bloodstorm, just great. If you like US death, US East Coast death metal, and this band is just very much that. Can't go wrong. They're great. Also picked up this. I've never owned anything from this band, even though I've known of them forever. We got Ozagal from Finland. This is their first full length or second. Fuck, don't quote me on that at all. Anyway, it's a full length. It's got a Finnish title, but it translates to The Nine Circles of Hell. That's the original cover, and then it's got for some reason, another cover with the English title. Yeah, Finnish black metal. That's exactly what they sound like. They got to the point where they kind of started to clean up their sound a little bit, but they put out an album like a year or two ago that was really back to like sounding really dirty again. So that was kind of cool. But they're a good band. They write good, they're good songwriters. Even if some of their later material is a little bit polished, it's still good stuff. I wouldn't consider them one of the better Finnish black metal bands, but they are one of the more consistent, if you know what I mean. And here's one I've wanted forever. I'm not the biggest fan of either of these bands or the style, but I do like it from time to time, and this is definitely, a US classic. Got the Black Witchery Conqueror split, Hellstorms of Evil Vengeance. I don't know what version this is. It came out on Dark Horizon Records. I'm sure there's been, multiple pressings of it, and I don't know which one this is, but it doesn't matter. I've just wanted it, and now I have it. I like Black Witchery, and I like Conqueror, but I'm not the biggest fan of either, and I'm not the biggest fan of this style of music, though I do like some of it from time to time. My collection's not exactly, littered with more metal stuff. I have a very small handful of releases, from that, in that vein. Let's see. These three I got yesterday in that trade as well. Here's a band that I've wanted to get something from them forever. I think they've been around like 10 years now, and I just finally got something from them. Got Evil Army with their debut full length. I think it's just self-titled Evil Army. Came out on Hell's Headbangers. Evil Army they're a thrash band from the US. Cool artwork all throughout this thing. And Hell's Headbangers always does a bang-up job, obviously. Anyway, they're a thrash metal band, young dudes. Or at least they were very young when they started. This is from fucking like 2006. Jesus. All right, man, took me that long to get it. But anyways, thrash band, young dudes when they started. You might remember some of the controversy if you were on Facebook at the time and following them. There was some. I don't know if it had ever been proven to be true, but there was a bunch of drama about them playing and somewhere down south, and they borrowed some equipment from one of the bands because theirs that was broken or something like that, and apparently they tried to steal it but got caught right before they were about to skip town, and they said that it got loaded in their their van or whatever by accident, and there was a big back and forth, and I don't know. Like I said, I can't. Internet drama, but it was kind of funny. I don't know for a fact if maybe it was an accident, but some of you might remember that. Here's a band that I've known of for years and years, never have once heard. I still haven't heard it, even though I just got this yesterday. But I've always heard good things, so I saw it insanely cheap, and I decided to grab it, and it was part of that trade. This is the Helicopters. Got to get some action now. Helicopters are, as far as I know, like a punk band, or punks / like kind of garage rock or something like that. Just from what I've read and from what I've heard over the years, Nick Anderson, or is it Nicky Anderson? I never knew how to pronounce that. From Entombed. This is his band. This is one of those skinny singles, that came out in the 90s. This came out in 96. A lot of you guys might remember those. This was recorded at Sunlight Studios, actually, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so excited to finally hear this band. Here's another band I've never heard, but I remember when this came out a year or two ago. Came out on Iron Bonehead. I don't know how to pronounce the band at all. See if you can do it. The album's called The Shadow, and it might be notable for being a one-woman black metal band. There's the cover. I can't remember what country she's from. Very nice digipack here. I'm not a fan of digipacks, but whatever. So yeah, I remember this coming out, and I remember actually hearing some decent things about it, and I figured I'd pick it up in that trade and give it a go. See if I like it or not. All right. Now I have a small handful of 2018 or 2019 releases, if you will. Some of these I was very much anticipating, and some of them not so much, but yeah, picked them up regardless. One of my favorite bands here from back in the old days. I haven't been real impressed with their last two albums, their comeback albums, if you will, but I do think this one is better than both of those. Queensryche with The Verdict. I've listened to it once, and I actually think it's very modern sounding. Of course, it is 2019, but it sounds good, man. It's much better than their last two albums. The songwriting is better. Everything is better. Todd LaTorra's vocals on here are godly, if I'm being honest. You can just tell how much work this dude put into this album. I mean, he sounds better than ever. The dude's in his mid-40s, and you wouldn't know it by hearing his voice. Came out on Century Media. Like I said, I've only given one listen, so I can't give a full opinion on it, but so far, I like it. Same with its next album. I like this one quite a bit, actually. It's the new Candlemass. The Door to Doom came out on Napalm Records. That's their label now, apparently. Of course, everyone's talking about this as being, Johann, what's his name, coming back to the fold after being gone for 30 years or something like that. He was a session vocalist for their first album. He was never an official member. Although the band wanted him to stay, he didn't want to. He went off to do some of his own stuff, and I don't know how successful it was, but he's back in the band, and he sounds fantastic. That's all I can say about that. I've listened to it once. Giving this next one listen as well. The new Mystifier album. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that album either, but I'm a big Mystifier fan. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this. Finally, I have it. I've only listened to it once, and I liked it. I may not have been blown away, but I'm going to give it more listens, and we'll see where that goes. Same with the new Rotting Christ. I continue to buy Rotting Christ albums. They are one of my, they're one of my favorite bands. They haven't done anything to impress me in probably about 10 years. But this one I think is not a return to form, but I think it is better than most of what they've done in the last 8-10 years. We have the Heretics. I was expecting to be completely underwhelmed, and I wasn't. It's catchy. It's well written. Does it sound like early Rotting Christ? No, not at all. But I thought it was all right. I didn't hate it. And I also got the new Overkill, another band that I'm a longtime fan of, and I just keep buying their new releases, even though they were on a pretty good streak from Ironbound to like 3 or 4 albums or something like that. They were on a pretty good hot streak. Their last album was pretty good, but I was starting to get bored. And this album, I've listened to it twice so far, and it just kind of bores me as well. Bobby Ellsworth still sounds fucking awesome. You know, his charismatic vocals still kind of carry the band. You know, they're still good songwriters. They're still very good musicians. But so far, at least from 2 listens, it hasn't really kept my attention. But we'll see. And here's a band that I actually had never heard of, but I read on some Doom site. This was like their top pick of I don't know, out of a list of Doom bands that had put out albums this year, I think. I think they were saying this is their top pick for the year so far, if I remember correctly. It's got Witcher's Creed with Awakened from the Tomb. I think they're from Sweden, which would make sense. It says right here, recorded at Sunlight Studios, which I actually didn't know until literally just now. And as you can tell, I could have just held it up and then put it down. You would know exactly what it was. Clearly, it's a Doom band. I can't really go into detail about what they sound like because I haven't heard this thing yet, but like I said, the review intrigued me. The packaging intrigued me. I do like some Doom, especially like kind of the old school variety, but not the biggest Doom guy overall. But I mean, it looks like the kind of Doom I would like, so I took a risk on it. So anyways, that is all the stuff that I've gotten in trades or bought months ago, or got from the thrift store or whatever. So now we're going to get into, you know, the typical 10 albums out of my collection. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I never wanted to stop doing them, so here we go. I just got sidetracked. This one I might have actually shown in my very last video. I just grabbed it, or I mean my last collection video. I just grabbed it just in case I forgot it. So we're gonna get back into Deathspell Omega here. This is their EP Drought. One of the last few things they did. Came out on Season of Mist. Wasn't a big fan of this, to be honest. I haven't heard it in years. I might like it better now, but when it came out, I was not a big fan. There's some like post-rock, post-metal stuff going on in here, and I just... it still sounds like Deathspell Omega, don't get me wrong, but I just kind of really disliked it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll throw it on tonight and see... So one thing I've noticed is, like, in the last couple years, bands that put out albums that I didn't really like, I'll return to them after a couple, not hearing them for a couple years, and I've been kind of surprised by how much more I like them now. So that might be the case for that one too. Let's see. All right, next we have Death Nation. I have shown this exact album in one of my older videos. But you guys might not remember that. This is their album Exorcism. Came out on metalhit.com, which is Mark Riddick's label, I think. German death metal. Pretty good stuff. They actually put out, this is a compilation technically of like some demo stuff. They put out their first full length a couple years back, and it was really good. Went pretty under the radar, but I know there are some fans of this band for sure. It's just, dark, dirty death metal from Germany. It's good stuff. I recommend it. Next one we have, this is from Rise Above Records. We have Death Penalty. Gaz Jennings from Cathedral plays guitar on this. I don't remember who else is in the band, but it's good stuff. Got a slipcase on there. I don't think I really need to... Yeah, there you go. Old school Doom, kind of rocking old school Doom. It's got a female vocalist who can really sing, and it's good stuff. Got Death Breath, Stinking Up the Night. This is their first full length, I think. It's been a while. This came out on Relapse Records. This was basically a super group of sorts. Speaking of Nick A. Anderson, plays drums on this. Oh man, who else is in this band? I want to say Scott from Repulsion. I'm going to pull this out because I really want to remember. Because it's got a cool, Scott Carlson on vocals. Jorgen Sandstrom on vocals from Grave. Fred Espy from Dismember doing some backup vocals. Those guys were guest guys on this. They were guests. Robert Persson on vocals and guitar, Nick Anderson drums and guitars, Magnus Hedquist on bass, and guest vocals on every song. Really good stuff. They had an EP also that has Chris Reifert that did vocals on a track. Might have been a Bathory cover. That was really good too, but just really good. I mean, way better than anything Grave or Entombed or Dismember have done in a long time, and just really, 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 really good, fun fucking stuff. I definitely recommend it. And now we have The Only Thing I Own from Death Angel. Got Act 3, which is kind of surprising because the only thing I really like from them is their first album. This album's all right. It's not bad. It's got some moments on there, but it's a little bit, you know, they were really trying to push into more of a commercial sound. Even on their second album, they already started doing that. But on this album, they were really pushing for it, and they achieved it. This album actually, you know, they had a lot of exposure. This came out in 1990 on Geffen Records. And yeah, this was kind of their moment in the spotlight. If you don't know Death Angel, you know, Bay Area thrash, you know, Filipino dudes, brothers and cousins, I believe, started this band when they were like fucking 11, 12 years old. Very talented dudes. They have always been extremely talented, especially at such an early age. All the other Bay Area, you know, thrash bands really like these guys, and it's an alright album if you're open to, like, it's got some solid thrash songs, but then it's got, you know, some commercial radio rock moments on it and stuff, and I can listen to this once in a while. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not my cup of tea. When I want to hear thrash metal, I just want to hear thrash metal. I don't want to hear any kind of poppy elements or rock elements breaking into it or anything like that. But it's good. It's decent for what it is. Okay, what do we got next? We have Debris Incorporated. This also came out on Rise Above. This was like a punk / doom band from like a dude from Trouble and a dude from St. Vitus. I'm not real familiar with those bands, to be honest. I have heard a lot of their stuff, but I'm not the hugest fan. Looks like Jimmy Bauer. Yeah, Jimmy Bauer. Him right there. I think he plays drums on this. But anyways, I haven't really listened to this much. It doesn't really, it's not really my cup of tea. Next, we got a couple Decapitated albums. Pretty much the only two that I ever liked from them. First one, this is their first album, I think. Shit, at least that's what I remember it being. Came out on Wicked World and Earache, Winds of Creation. It was a real good album for when it came out, and I haven't listened to it for a long time. It came out in 2007. I'm sure it probably still holds up. I've been wanting to re-listen to this, actually, for a long time. We all know Decapitated. They were a death metal band out of Poland. They also started, kind of like Death Angel, they also started when they were really fucking young. And they're always, just really hard-working dudes. These guys, they practice at their instruments and their craft very, very hard. And they deserve to get some attention. I'm not even going to go into the controversy that they got themselves into a year or two back. Which that happened right next to where I live, by the way. I've been to that venue many times. And anyway, I'm not going to get into it, though. Here's their other album that I like. This is the first one I ever had. This is where I discovered them. I still like it. It's a good album. Nihility. Also Wicked World and Earache. Good album. Never listened to it anymore, but it's good. And then we're gonna finish this off with one of the albums I own from Deceased, and probably my favorite, Fearless. I can't talk today. Fearless Undead Machines. This came out on Relapse Records. Originally, it came out on Relapse. This is a Lost Apparitions repress. Shrieks from the Hearse. Which is King Fowley's label. Lost Apparitions is a label out of, I think it's China. I think King's got some kind of a working deal with them or something, because they've put out a lot of Deceased represses. So yeah, there's the boys there. God damn, this album is good. I've actually called this before, and I stand by it. I have called this album the Operation Mindcrime of death metal, because it's just kind of it's what it always reminds me of. It's a concept album, really well written, by the way. I mean, the lyrics are actually really fucking good. It's basically, it's like a Dawn of the Dead story. It's set to music. It's really cool. Like I said, my favorite from them, and that's saying a lot. Anyways, that's all I got. See, this video is cool. Half an hour. That's kind of like the mark I'm trying to reach these days. I think it's a good, not too long, not too short. But anyways, like I said, my distro, I'll leave a link down below. My distro are having a sale until Tuesday. Come take a look at my stuff. If you see something you like, everything's like $3 to $4. And even after the sale's over, everything's like $4 to $5. So I'm only doing cassettes right now, but I might do more in the future. I haven't really thought that deep into it, but this is kind of the way I wanted to start. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Cheers.